Welcome to Instacast.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We're jumping back into this wild challenge. This YouTuber trying to make $100,000 from 1 cent.
Yeah.
And, they're not using their name, they're not using their brand or anything like that, so it makes it even more challenging.
It's day 12 now.
Day 12.
Yeah.
They're in Pakistan right now
Right.
at about $2,100.
Yep,
So things are getting pretty interesting.
absolutely. And they're starting to use their skills in ways we haven't seen previously.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Like, he's got this background, right?
Yeah.
He used to make 6 figures managing product launches for other people.
Yeah. Launches for other people. Big launches.
And, that's a high-pressure world.
It is.
And those skills are really being put to the test now.
Absolutely. And it's almost like they're weaving together those different experiences, that background that they had, into what they're doing now.
Exactly. And it's kind of interesting how they're doing that.
Right.
Like, right away, the YouTuber meets this local business owner named Steve, and they're not asking Steve for money.
Right.
They're offering to make videos for Steve.
They're going to make video testimonials.
Testimonial videos.
Yeah. For his business.
Yeah. To help grow his business.
Yep. And that's where the expertise in doing those big launches and the editing comes in.
Exactly.
He's got those skills, and he can use that.
Yeah. He was saying that, like, previously he was charging a premium for this kind of work.
Right.
But now he's using it as like a bargaining chip to build something new from scratch.
Right. So adaptable.
Yeah. So he's taking what he's done in the past. He's using his success to add value to somebody else in a different context.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the technical skills. It's about understanding those marketing principles.
Yes, definitely.
And applying them creatively.
And he even actually said something really interesting about that. He said, social proof is essential. Back then, we relied heavily on testimonials to build trust with potential customers.
Interesting.
It's no different for Steve's business.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
So they film these testimonials, and then things get kind of interesting.
Yes, they do.
I don't know how this fits in, but he ends up winning a free meal by beating someone in a fighting game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. He got free food.
It's great, yeah.
But, like, how does that fit in?
I mean, it might seem a little bit random,
Yeah.
but it really does fit into this whole philosophy he keeps repeating. He keeps saying any skill can be monetized.
Interesting.
So he literally turned his ability to play fighting games into a free meal,
That's true.
which it's not a huge financial game, but it does reinforce that hustle mentality.
Yeah, I get that. It's like being resourceful and spotting opportunities where others don't.
Exactly.
But winning meals isn't going to get him to $100,000.
Right.
But today's real test comes later in a meeting with the potential client. An influencer, actually.
An influencer in the e-commerce space.
Yeah.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because remember how we talked about authority earlier?
Well-
Well, he knows he needs to prove that he's got this expertise to this client.
Right.
He can't just say, I'm good at marketing. He has to show her.
Yeah. How's he going to do that?
Well, he doesn't just do some big presentation or anything like that. He dives right into his strategy
Okay.
for how he sells information products on Instagram. And he focuses on stories and this 4-week system he's developed.
Okay.
So he's highlighting how this system got him results in the past.
So he's using basically his track record to build credibility.
Yeah, exactly. And the influencer seems really interested in the fact that he's launched courses in e-commerce and trading.
Okay, so that's kind of smart because by focusing on those niches,
Yeah,
he becomes a specialist, not just some marketer.
right. A specialist. So now the question is, can he close the deal?
Right.
So he proposes a 10% commission on any sales generated.
Whoa, 10%.
Yeah, 10%.
That seems low.
It does. It does.
Especially considering how much money he's made in the past
Right.
for these big launches.
Yes.
And get this, he even asks for a $1,000 advance.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Most clients wouldn't go for that.
No, they wouldn't.
That's a bold move.
Yeah.
There's risk involved there.
Yeah.
But remember, this YouTuber, he's all about hustle.
Right.
He's playing the long game here. 10% of a massive launch could be more profitable than a larger cut up front.
Mm-hmm.
And that advance, it's a much needed cash infusion.
Okay, so I see the strategy, but it's risky,
Very risky.
but potentially very rewarding.
Yes. He's thinking ahead. He's playing chess here. And the influencer agrees to the terms.
Whoa.
So at the end of day 12, the YouTuber is sitting at over $2,100,
Wow.
which is a huge jump.
Yeah.
But the important thing is he's landed a potentially game-changing client.
This is crazy how he's leveraged these past experiences, combined with his negotiation skills to make this happen.
It is. It's really impressive. It's like he takes these setbacks and uses them as fuel.
Yeah. You know what? He even said, he was like, every no brings me closer to a yes.
Wow, that's a really powerful mindset.
Yeah. And it reminds me of that concept of anti-fragility. Like,
Yeah.
some things actually benefit from stress and chaos.
Right.
And this YouTuber seems to really thrive in the uncertainty of this whole challenge.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's not just blind optimism. It's strategic, Like, he analyzes what he does.
Right.
He looks for ways to get better.
Yeah.
Like, after that meeting with the influencer,
Right.
he reflected on his negotiation tactics,
Uh.
and he said, I could have pushed for a higher commission, but I also need to build trust and prove my value first.
Yeah.
It's a long game.
Yeah. I like that. There's a maturity there.
Yeah.
He's not chasing quick wins.
He's not. No.
He's building a foundation.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson that applies to way more than just this $100,000 challenge, right?
Absolutely. It's easy to just get focused on the money in this,
Right.
but it's also about the personal growth.
Yeah. It's like he's unlocking this next level of confidence and self-belief with every challenge.
And that's what makes it so compelling to watch, I think.
Yeah, exactly. We're not just watching a spreadsheet get filled with numbers.
Yeah.
We're watching someone step outside their comfort zone,
Yeah.
discover their potential.
And that's inspiring for everyone, even if you aren't trying to make $100,000 in a month.
Right. It's super inspiring.
Yeah.
This story reminds me of something I've been struggling with.
Oh, yeah.
I have this skill that I'm really passionate about,
Yeah.
but I just haven't figured out how to make money from it.
Yeah.
And watching this guy do it, find ways to leverage his talents.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
Right. And it makes you want to go try something.
It does. It makes you want to go try something.
Yeah. I think that's the power of a story like this.
Yeah.
It makes you think, what if I could do that?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they're giving us permission to dream big and believe that anything is possible.
Yeah. As long as you put in the work.
If you're willing to put in the work, take some risks.
Take some risks.
And it's not just about this individual hustle.
No.
I mean, he emphasizes collaboration throughout this.
Absolutely. He even talks about how his past success came from working with a great team.
Yeah. So it's not about being a lone wolf.
Right?
It's about working with others, leveraging their skills to help you achieve more.
Absolutely.
And you see that in this video, right? He's always seeking advice.
Yep.
Networking.
Yeah.
Collaborating with other creators.
Definitely. Building a support system.
Yeah. A network of people that can offer guidance and accountability.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is super important when you're pushing yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
When you're pushing yourself outside your comfort zone,
Yeah.
there are going to be times when you doubt yourself.
Absolutely.
And having those people to lean on is going to make all the difference.
Yeah. And let's not forget about how he tells the story. He's documenting the whole journey.
Yeah.
He's sharing the ups and downs, the good and the bad.
Right. The insights,
Whoa.
the strategies.
And it makes it really relatable. Super relatable.
Engaging. It's like you're right there with him, experiencing all of it.
Yeah. And that transparency, it's so refreshing.
It is.
And it speaks to the power of just being authentic. He's not trying to pretend that he's got it all figured out.
No, not at all.
He's being vulnerable.
Yeah.
He's admitting his mistakes.
Yeah.
And he's showing the reality, the messy reality of going after a big goal.
Definitely.
And that's what makes it so powerful.
It's not about being perfect.
Right. It's about progress.
Yeah.
It's about taking action even when you're scared, even when you don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
And that message, it resonates with anyone who's ever dreamed big.
Absolutely.
And it reminds us that the journey is just as important as
Yeah.
the destination.
It is. And sometimes the journey takes you in some unexpected directions.
Yeah. Remember that fighting game win?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It seemed like a random thing,
Right.
but it turned into a really important moment in his day.
Yeah. It gave him that confidence. Yeah. He literally said, after that win, I felt like I could take on the world.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing how little moments like that can change your mindset, give
Yeah.
you the momentum to keep going.
Exactly. You got to pay attention to those wins. Celebrate them. Let them fuel you. And sometimes those little wins lead to bigger breakthroughs.
Like that $1,000 advance.
Yeah. It might not seem like a lot of money, but it was a huge turning point for him.
Huge.
It gave him a financial cushion,
Yep,
validated his strategy, his belief in himself.
it did.
And that validation can be just as valuable
Yeah, as the
as money.
wins.
It is. It's like this vote of confidence.
Yeah. that pushes you forward.
Yeah, it gives you the energy to keep going.
Yeah,
So what does all this tell us about where he's at now? It's been a roller coaster.
it really has. Ups and downs. Strategic planning, unexpected stuff happening,
Yeah.
bold moves, calculated risks.
Yeah.
But through it all, he has stayed committed,
Yes, absolutely.
willing to learn, to adapt.
Absolutely. And he's turning these challenges into opportunities.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is. And he stayed true to himself the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't changed who he is.
Yeah. He's embraced his quirks.
Yeah.
He shares his story, honestly.
It's not only a masterclass in how to be an entrepreneur, but also in personal growth.
And resilience.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. We started this deep dive just thinking about how is this guy going to make $100,000 from a penny?
I know, right?
But it's become way more than that.
Yeah.
It's about resourcefulness, about adapting. It's about believing in yourself even when things are tough.
It really is. And I think that's why everyone is so drawn into this whole thing. It's not just the money. It's the story behind it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And what's so cool is how open he's being about the whole thing.
Yeah, he's telling us everything.
The wins and losses, his doubts, his strategies, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's like we're right there with him building this from nothing.
It's powerful.
It is. And it makes him relatable.
Yeah.
You know, you watch it and you're like, hey, if he can do it, maybe I can too.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest thing that stood out to you about this whole journey?
I think for me, it's that he's always learning.
Right.
He's always adapting. He's not afraid to try something new,
Right.
to change direction if things aren't working.
Right.
And he's always asking for feedback, trying to get better.
That's so important. It's like he sees failure as part of the process.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just a step on the way to success.
A stepping stone.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't let it stop him. It fuels him to keep going.
And he's so aware of himself.
Yeah.
He's always like, okay, how did I do? What are my strengths? What do I need to work on? And that's huge.
It is. If you want to grow, you got to be able to look at yourself, honestly. It's like he's using this whole challenge as this big experiment, you know?
Right.
Like, what can I do? What are my limits?
What am I really capable of?
Yeah.
And the results are there.
Yeah.
In less than 2 weeks, he's turned a couple bucks into a couple thousand.
Yeah.
He's got a great client,
A great
a
client.
foundation for the future.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much he's done in such a short time. But it's not over yet.
Not even close. He's still got a long way to go to hit 100,000.
Right.
And I think things are going to get even more exciting.
Oh, yeah. Now that he's got some momentum, some cash flow, this client, I mean, who knows what's next?
know, right.
Will he keep going with the influencer strategy?
Right.
Will he find new ways to make money with his skills?
Is he going to hit any roadblocks? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But one thing is for sure, he's shown everyone that if you're creative, if you work hard, if you believe in yourself,
Anything's possible.
you can achieve anything. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
What skills do you have? What could you do, even just a little thing, to turn those skills into something valuable, something you could make money from? Maybe it's a dream you've had. Maybe it's something you've never thought about. But I promise you, the possibilities are out there, just waiting for you to discover them.
It's true. And maybe this YouTuber story will give you that little push you need to get started, to embrace the unknown, to create something amazing.
That's it for this deep dive.
See you next time.